time on the things that matter. Our mission is to make a difference in people's lives by helping them to easily create healthy, delicious meals every day and enjoy it. And now, with the smart connected TM6, it's all at the touch of a button.
The manufacturer Vorwerk, whilst global, is a family business at heart, just like our family business here in Australia and New Zealand.
Growing up, Thermomix was a big part of our family. As a teenager, it got me in the kitchen creating new things and ignited my passion for food. Now as a dietitian and a mum, I get to pass on my knowledge of health and nutrition and my passion for cooking with my children and the whole Thermomix community.
Today, more than 2,000 consultants share cooking experiences with people around Australia and New Zealand. More than 13 million Thermomixes have been sold across 40 different countries, including almost 500,000 here in Australia and New Zealand. And many of Australia's top chefs are cooking with Thermomix too. Since 1971, Vorwerk has been producing Thermomix in Germany and France, helping people around the world to create a lifetime of amazing meals. German precision engineering, paired with cutting-edge technology, combines 20 different functions into the one compact Thermomix appliance. Thermomix was first to introduce guided cooking, an innovative way to create meals by simply following the on-screen step-by-step instructions.
We've developed over 15 cookbooks and more than 2,100 triple-tested recipes on Cookie Dough, our digital recipe library. Your Cookie Dough subscription also provides you access to over 42,000 recipes from countries all around the world. What I love about my TM6 is that I can search for any of these recipes on Cookie Dough directly on the screen of my Thermomix.
Today, your consultant will show you how Thermomix can help you to easily create delicious food smarter and faster. If you are curious about becoming Thermomix consultant, the next step is as simple as having a chat with your consultant today.
Now it's time for your consultant to show you what you can create with your smart connected Thermomix. Thank you for coming to today's cooking experience and sharing in our love for Thermomix. We hope you enjoy.
Meet Grace, mum, grandmother, friend, neighbour and home cook. In 2000, she added another string to her bow. She became Australia's first Thermomix consultant. Consultants live to share their love of Thermomix. Every consultant has a story, and this is Grace's. On a family trip to Poland, she saw the possibilities of the Thermomix firsthand.
Straight away, I saw how Thermomix could inspire people to create delicious food while spending less time in the kitchen and more time on the things that matter. Our mission is to make a difference in people's lives by helping them to easily create healthy, delicious meals every day and enjoy it. And now, with the smart connected TM6, it's all at the touch of a button.
The manufacturer Vorwerk, whilst global, is a family business at heart, just like our family business here in Australia and New Zealand.
Growing up, Thermomix was a big part of our family. As a teenager, it got me in the kitchen creating new things and ignited my passion for food. Now as a dietitian and a mum, I get to pass on my knowledge of health and nutrition and my passion for cooking with my children and the whole Thermomix community.
Today, more than 2,000 consultants share cooking experiences with people around Australia and New Zealand. More than 13 million Thermomixes have been sold across 40 different countries, including almost 500,000 here in Australia and New Zealand. And many of Australia's top chefs are cooking with Thermomix too. Since 1971, Vorwerk has been producing Thermomix in Germany and France, helping people around the world to create a lifetime of amazing meals. German precision engineering, paired with cutting-edge technology, combines 20 different functions into the one compact Thermomix appliance. Thermomix was first to introduce guided cooking, an innovative way to create meals by simply following the on-screen step-by-step instructions.
We've developed over 15 cookbooks and more than 2,100 triple-tested recipes on Cookie Dough, our digital recipe library. Your Cookie Dough subscription also provides you access to over 42,000 recipes from countries all around the world. What I love about my TM6 is that I can search for any of these recipes on Cookie Dough directly on the screen of my Thermomix.
Today, your consultant will show you how Thermomix can help you to easily create delicious food smarter and faster. If you are curious about becoming Thermomix consultant, the next step is as simple as having a chat with your consultant today.
Now it's time for your consultant to show you what you can create with your smart connected Thermomix. Thank you for coming to today's cooking experience and sharing in our love for Thermomix. We hope you enjoy.
Meet Grace. Mum, grandmother, friend, neighbour and home cook. In 2000, she added another string to her bow. She became Australia's first Thermomix consultant. Consultants live to share their love of Thermomix. Every consultant has a story, and this is Grace's. On a family trip to Poland, she saw the possibilities of the Thermomix firsthand.
Straight away, I saw how Thermomix could inspire people to create delicious food while spending less time in the kitchen and more time on the things that matter. Our mission is to make a difference in people's lives by helping them to easily create healthy, delicious meals every day and enjoy it. And now, with the smart connected TM6, it's all at the touch of a button.
The manufacturer Vorwerk, whilst global, is a family business at heart, just like our family business here in Australia and New Zealand.
Growing up, Thermomix was a big part of our family. As a teenager, it got me in the kitchen creating new things and ignited my passion for food. Now as a dietitian and a mum, I get to pass on my knowledge of health and nutrition and my passion for cooking with my children and the whole Thermomix community.
Today, more than 2,000 consultants share cooking experiences with people around Australia and New Zealand. More than 13 million Thermomixes have been sold across 40 different countries, including almost 500,000 here in Australia and New Zealand. And many of Australia's top chefs are cooking with Thermomix too. Since 1971, Vorwerk has been producing Thermomix in Germany and France, helping people around the world to create a lifetime of amazing meals. German precision engineering, paired with cutting-edge technology, combines 20 different functions into the one compact Thermomix appliance. Thermomix was first to introduce guided cooking, an innovative way to create meals by simply following the on-screen step-by-step instructions.
We've developed over 15 cookbooks and more than 2,100 triple-tested recipes on Cookie Dough, our digital recipe library. Your Cookie Dough subscription also provides you access to over 42,000 recipes from countries all around the world. What I love about my TM6 is that I can search for any of these recipes on Cookie Dough directly on the screen of my Thermomix.
Today, your consultant will show you how Thermomix can help you to easily create delicious food smarter and faster. If you are curious about becoming Thermomix consultant, the next step is as simple as having a chat with your consultant today.
Now it's time for your consultant to show you what you can create with your smart connected Thermomix. Thank you for coming to today's cooking experience and sharing in our love for Thermomix. We hope you enjoy.
Emily, I need you to turn that off. We'll go to the lounge room. Okay. Hey, everyone. All right, let me just see if I'm recording. I am. Hello. So we have 26 on so far. We had about 40 registrations, but it is 7 o'clock. We are recording, so I'll be able to pass on those who are a little late. Doesn't matter. Just thanks for being on time, guys. And how you all doing? Staying safe, I hope. Staying at home. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to start off with a quick presentation and then we're going to get stuck into cooking. Let me just see who is on. Awesome. If I have any of my consultants on from the Blade Runners, could you please monitor the chat for me? I'd really appreciate it. We have a big group today, so I'm not sure I'll be able to get to the chat very often, and we are cooking a lot of dishes. So I'm just going to grab my name badge. Makes me look more professional. There we go. All right. Okay, fabulous. All right, so we are going to start. Thank you all for coming tonight and joining my online virtual demonstration. I thought I could do this for our new customers who have received their Thermomix within the past few weeks, but also our existing customers who are here to learn some new hints and tips just to make using their Thermomix so much easier. And there is so much to learn. I have been a consultant now for almost 8 years, and I'm learning every day. Every single day I learn something new about the Thermomix. So, and these are the beauty of these demos, that you can go to as many as you like, and to each one that you're going to learn something new. So it's just going to ensure that you are going to get the most out of this awesome investment that you've made. So a bit about myself before we start, so you know who I am. My name is Sandra Philippe and I'm a team leader for the Southwest region of Sydney. And I've got a team of 20 awesome consultants who do such a fabulous job in their business. And I know some of them are on tonight, supporting their customers that are on here tonight as well. So and I've been doing this for, almost 8 years. I was one of those that I would never, ever, ever buy a Thermomix, because to me, this was just a silly investment, an overpriced blender that I didn't need, because, I love cooking. I considered myself an awesome cook, and I didn't need this to cook for me, but I had never actually seen it in action. And then I happened to go to a cousin's house for dinner, and their consultant was there teaching them how to use their Thermomix. And what sold me with the Thermomix was bechamel sauce. Can you believe it? And that's because I used to make my own bechamel sauce from scratch all the time, stirring on the pot for half an hour, getting it right, making sure it wasn't lumpy. And when I saw that it could be done in 12 minutes in the Thermomix, I just saw a whole range of possibilities for me having a Thermomix in the kitchen, of being able to be more creative and doing things faster. Because at the time I had a 2-week-old and a 5-year-old, so I was really, really time poor. And so baby food was going to be back on the table. And that's my story. It doesn't finish there, because that's when I was a Thermomix owner. But I was actually living in Portugal at the time. And when we moved back to Australia, the first thing I did was call Thermomix and say, I want to work for you. I decided that that's what I wanted to do, because I had a very, very busy career overseas, and I just didn't want that for my family anymore. I wanted to be home more, and Thermomix has provided that for me. So if any of you who are listening right now, if that resonates with some of you, get in touch with me, get in touch with your consultant, and we can give you more information about what's involved with being a Thermomix consultant. So for those who are new, for those who haven't seen the Thermomix before, the Thermomix is made by a company called Vorwerk, and Vorwerk is a German company, and they've been established for, you won't believe it, but almost 130 years. So they're really established in the market, especially in the European market, because they don't actually do just Thermomixes. They have some other appliances as well, which are quite advanced technologically as well, like the Thermomix. And it's a family-run company, just like in Australia. It's a family-run company, and Thermomix has been here now for 20 years. This year is our 20th year anniversary, and we've actually sold over 500,000 Thermomixes in our 20 years here. So lots of Thermomixes out there in the homes, not just this model. So this is the TM6. This one has been here for 2 years. We have a model previous to this called the TM5, and a model before that, TM31. And we do have some TM21s out there as well, still going strong. Now, remember, these are German made with German technology. So they are built to last, I don't know, I haven't been around that long. So actually I have, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you won't see a Thermomix in landfills because they're built that well. So on to the next page. Next one, because this one is more when you're doing smaller demos face to face. So we always ask as consultants, what is it that's most important to you when it comes to cooking? You know, is it saving time? Are you looking for healthy dishes? Do you want to be more creative? That was my case, for instance. Each person is different, and at a personalized demo in a smaller group, our consultants really like to focus on what's important to you. It's not about selling a machine, but it's about finding out how the Thermomix can benefit you and your family as individuals. So if you do want to see more after today, please do get in touch with me or your consultant, because we're happy to show more, maybe something that resonates more with your family. And also by hosting your own demo, by inviting a couple of friends along, you can also get some really cool host rewards, which I'll show you as we go along. So you want to get your hands on those. Now, we like to be upfront about the price early on in the demo because, you know, so you can judge the value for yourself throughout the demo. Now, it's 2269. It comes with everything included. There's no extras to buy. Now, I said it's 2269, but actually this price is valid up until the 19th of this month. So only, where are we? 16. So 6 and 7, bad at maths. So 3 more days, because on the 20th, the price actually goes up to 2359. So it goes up by $90, which may not seem like a lot, which is great, but those $90 can go towards something in our mix shop. So we have awesome accessories in our mix shop. So if you want to secure this price, whether you're thinking of upgrading or it's your first machine, then get in touch with your consultant or get in touch with me before the price goes up. Now, we have several payment options available. Obviously, there's a one-off payment, and you can pay with debit card, credit card, bank transfer. We also have 3 payments. So you actually pay it off in 3 months, but you do get your Thermomix straight away. And your first payment would be $919, and that already includes a $50 admin fee. If you want more information on that, let me know. And we also have 24 months interest free. So you can get a Thermomix for $23.69 a week, which is really affordable. And there's only a startup fee, a monthly account keeping fee, like any finance company, but then that's it. You can pay it off sooner if you're waiting for a tax return. You can put a lump sum towards your finance, and you don't get charged fees by doing that, and by paying it off sooner as well. You don't also get charged fees for that. And a really good option as well is by signing up with our team of consultants. So you can sign up just to earn your Thermomix, and you can get a Thermomix with just 6 sales. So you just need to do 6 sales in 2 months, and you get this Thermomix. You've earned it. So if you do want more information on that, again, get in touch with me or your consultant, and we can give you more information on that. And this month, before I forget, this is important. This month, if you do want to sign up as a consultant, we have a half price business kit promotion as well. So you can start your business for $62.50, and you actually get that back as soon as you do your first 3 sales. You get it back, you get it refunded. So really good options there to get a Thermomix on your bench. Well, that's enough for me talking. I'll see if anyone has any questions. I'll just, when I do this, come off the screens because I've got my laptop here. Yeah, so they're actually made on the border of Germany and France. So the Thermomixes, so just to clarify that. Now, we're going to go through some of the functions. There's over 20 modes and functions. I've actually lost count. Is that heater on, Patrick? Oh my gosh, I'm so hot. Our heater was on. What's wrong? You don't, okay. Yeah, so there's over 20 modes and functions. I've lost count how many there are because new modes and functions come to the Thermomix via software updates. So how good is that? So Thermomix is connected to your home Wi-Fi. If you've got a TM5 and you don't have that thing that goes on the side called the cook key, you're missing out because you're not getting those software updates and you're also not getting the guided cooking. But I'll go through what the guided cooking involves a bit later on. Okay. So yeah, so I think I know we have over 20. Some of them, most of them are listed here. Now, we're obviously not going to be able to go through them all today in a 1 hour session. So if you do want to see something in particular, get in touch with your consultant and they'll be able to hold a virtual demo for you to show you exactly how that particular function works. Okay. But yeah, it's just really, well, I mean, the Thermomix replaces over 20 appliances. So there's a lot that it does that we can't go through it all in one demo. So that's why I really encourage you to go to as many as you like. So, okay, so I'll leave it on that page. We're going to start cooking now. I'm going to start off with a cake. Now I want to share a tip with some of the owners here. I am going to make the Torta Caprice, but before I start, so the Torta Caprice is a gluten-free almond and chocolate cake. It is so absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to show it to you. So the first thing we're going to actually do is I'm going to mill some sugar. So I've got some raw sugar and I want some icing sugar because I don't buy icing sugar. I'm going to make it from here. So now tips for the owners, like I mentioned before, when you're milling anything, these blades need to be really dry. So we have that one blade that does everything in this stainless steel bowl. The bowl has 2.2 liters. Now, so because the blades need to be really dry, I could take the bowl apart, very easy, but you don't need to. So if you just tap on the speed and go to speed 10, by going to speed 10 just for a few seconds, that was 3 seconds or 4, it flicks the water that's on the blades, flicks it to the side, and the air circulating inside dry the blades. Okay, so now I know those blades are really dry, and I'm going to put in, I think I have about 100 grams, but if I wanted to weigh them, I swipe and I've got the scales. I know it's hard to see the screen because I've got a ring light, but I've popped the scales on there by swiping to the left, and that's where I see all the modes and functions, and I'll go through them later on. Put in my raw sugar, and now I'm just going to go to speed 10 for 10 seconds. So I can program here on the time 10 seconds, and I tap on the speed, and I go to speed 10. Okay, so I'll show you what we've done. So raw sugar really is the only sugar you need when you have a Thermomix, because we can have icing sugar in 10 seconds. If I wanted caster sugar, I would just do 5 seconds. So you actually can also save a lot of money with the Thermomix, because icing sugar compared to raw sugar, there's a massive price difference, right? And what happens when you don't use all of that icing sugar packet? It goes rock hard, doesn't it? Then you have to throw it in the bin. So you end up wasting money that way. This way, you just mill what you need. So I'm actually going to need this to sprinkle the cake once it comes out of the oven. Talking about oven, I'm going to now turn on my oven. Oops, to 170 degrees. Now we're going to start our cake. So I've put the cake in the weekly planner. See, maybe you can see it better that way. On the side, it's because the light. Let me just go and get the remote control for the light. And sorry guys. Okay, if I pop it here. Okay, all right, there's something black there. I don't know what that is. Okay, so doesn't help, does it? Looks the same. Okay, back to the light. All right. Okay, so
I can't see anything that you're doing. I can see you and I can see, but I cannot see any of the dials.
Yeah, it's hard because of the, let me just go into the settings and change the the lighting on the settings. It is hard with all the lights. Let me see, display. All right, brightness, I'm going to put it to low and hopefully that helps. Okay, can you see a little bit better now? Anyone? I know it's going to be hard because of the light. I'll just see if I can. That's better. Oh, thanks for letting me know.
I still can't see any. I can see the color, but I cannot see what you're doing at all.
As in, you can't see the Thermomix screen. Is that what you mean? You can see me though, right?
I can see the Thermomix, but I cannot see the screen, and I don't know
the screen.
what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, what buttons you're pushing or whatever. I cannot see that at all.
I can't help that. It's the lighting.
Yeah, I know.
I can see it all. Sonia can see it. So what I'll do, I'll talk through everything so you know exactly what I'm doing. And we'll, so if I face it forward, it's, let me turn the other light off. Okay, maybe that will help. We're a bit in the, oh, no, no, that doesn't help. I'm sorry, guys. Well, that's the best I can do, but I will step you through it. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the weekly planner. So, and this is where with our recipe platform, you can put recipes into the days of the week. And then when you're ready, just come to the menu called My Week and you tap on the recipe that you want to follow. So I've tapped on, it's called Torta Caprice. And then it shows, if we scroll down, it shows us the ingredients, the steps and so on, and also the utensils that we need. So everything that that a cookbook says. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Rebecca. I love that. If you've got cookie dough, you can follow the recipe on your cookie dough as I'm talking. So you can look up Torta Caprice, and I'm gonna tap on Start Cooking, and it says to preheat the oven to 170 degrees, which I've done. Grease and line a springform tin, which I've done. So now we're going to add 250 grams of almonds. So the recipe says blanched almonds. I couldn't find any today. I wanted a big packet. They only had little packets. So I'm just going to use your normal natural almonds. Not don't use roasted. You won't. The flavor won't be that great. So 250 grams in there. We're going to pop the lid on. We're going to tap next, and then it tells us to go to speed 10. So it's automatically programmed 10 seconds, and it's asking me to go to speed 10. Okay, so what have we done? We've gone from raw almonds, natural almonds to almond meal. So that only took 10 seconds. And by milling your own, the freshness is so much better. And it's cheaper. I can't remember how much it is per kilo now, the difference. I was going to check actually before we started today, and I actually forgot. But look, there is a price difference. And look, the flavor for milling your own is amazing, because with almond meal, you don't know how long it's been in the packet, and sometimes you can actually grab a packet that's gone rancid, unfortunately. So we've milled our own. How good does that look? And now we're going to add 200 grams of dark chocolate. Pop that in. And again, we're going to mill this into a powder. So it's actually now set the turbo function. And I'm going to do 2 seconds. It says 1, but I do like it more like powdery. That's done. So now we're going to also transfer that to a bowl. There is a bit of a delay when you use that turbo function for safety. All right, so there is our chopped up coffee. What am I saying? It looks like coffee, but it's not. Chocolate, dark chocolate. Okay, you can't use cacao for this one. You need to grab a block of dark chocolate. It's 200 grams. It's one whole block. Okay, pop the bowl back in. So we're going to pop that aside as well. And now we're going to add 200 grams of diced butter. And again, the scales pop up every time we want to weigh something. Okay, 200 grams and 180 grams of caster sugar for this one. So vanilla bean extract. I've got some vanilla paste here. Oh, it's finishing. I think I have enough for today. Oh, there we go. Done. Finished. But you can make this in the Thermomix as well, by the way. If you're lucky enough to find the vanilla bean pods, you can make your own. Okay, so now we're going to mix that. And all it takes is 20 seconds on speed 5. Okay, now it tells us to insert the butterfly. So this is your whisking and whipping attachment. Stirring as well is great for stirring if you're doing something like a curry or a stew. I like to use the butterfly. And all we do is put the butterfly in the bowl on top of the blades. And for those who already have a Thermomix, remember, never go above speed 4. And it goes behind the tallest blade. So the one that goes like that. And you go put it on the blunt side of it. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see there. Okay, so that ensures that the butterfly is locked in place. And now we're going to cream the sugar with the butter. So on speed 4. So for those that do a lot of baking and that used to do a lot of baking before Thermomix, what would you have used to do this? You'd probably need another appliance. You'd probably need, and now because it's whipping, you'd need to get your hand beater out. So you'd be using a lot of different things for one cake, right? And what would your kitchen normally look like after baking? Yeah. Oh, yes, I know vanilla bean paste is so expensive. So if you can get the vanilla beans, make it yourself. It is so much better. And you make a huge, like you save so much money. Yeah, definitely a mess. I remember totally. I've always loved baking. And it would always be a bowl for this, a bowl for that, a spoon for this, measuring spoons. And so not measuring spoons, measuring cups for so many different things. And now with the built-in scales, that's something else we barely use, the measuring cups. Okay, so that whipped it really nicely. So 20 seconds, like if you're doing that with the hand beater, that's another thing. It wouldn't take you 20 seconds. It'll probably take you like 3 minutes. So apart from, you know, saving up on all the washing up, but it's also so much quicker. So 4 eggs in there. And again, we're going to beat that with the creamed sugar and butter. So for 30 seconds. Let's wait for that. Now you can get, we have a beautiful line of bakingware in our mix shop, Rose Gold, really good quality. And we can also get the liners from there, which are the perfect shape and size for our, I want to show you also something else I purchased. I got these in the post yesterday. So these are the liners for the baking trays, and they're like replacing baking paper. So you don't need to use baking paper anymore. And I love them. They are the exact same size of our trays, obviously. And yeah, no more wasting money on baking paper and, you know, rubbish that goes in the bin. And yeah. All right. So now look at that. All right. So we've creamed that. We're going to remove the butterfly top of the side. And we're going to, it says to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Have you guys come across some videos as well that tell you exactly what to do? They're really cool, aren't they? Okay, now we're going to add the reserved nuts, well, in this case, almonds, the reserved almonds, almond meal, and the reserved chocolate. And we're going to pop the lid back on. And now it says 20 seconds to go to speed 3.5. And you can turn it quickly. You can turn the dial quickly and it'll stop you at where it needs to stop you. But if I want to go a little bit faster now, I could. Oh, it is so good. Elia, it's delicious. You can do like a ganache to go on top. I'm just going to sprinkle with some icing sugar that we did in the beginning because I think that's all it needs. It's quite a sweet cake. Okay, so now it says to scrape down the sides and we're going to mix it again. So just for another 10 seconds on speed 3.5. So how fantastic is it when you have those last minute guests popping around like, oh, I've got nothing to give my guests, no cake, no nothing. Well, not at the moment because we're all in lockdown, right? But you can whip up a cake and all I have dirty were these 2 bowls that I put our milled ingredients in there, my spatula, and 1 bowl and a butterfly. And my cake is going to go in the oven and that is all I have to wash. And then the Thermomix bowl also washes itself. Winning. Okay, so I'm going to share another tip with those that do have a Thermomix or that, you know, maybe you just got it recently and you're learning all these new tips. So I use these spatulas that you can get from the mix shop. You've probably already heard me raving about these spatulas, but look, the Thermomix spatula is also obviously really good. But what happens is with any spatula is that you're left with some on the blaze and we don't want to waste that. It's too good to waste. So what you do is you put the bowl back in the Thermomix and we just go to tap on the speed. We just go to speed 10 for like a second. And it flicks everything off those blades. So you don't have to be there, you know, with the spatula trying to get everything off. So now have a look, those blades are clean and you just grab your spatula and you get the rest out. Okay, so all of that was on the blades. Okay, so a bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to spread it. So do you guys remember the ingredients for this? It was just sugar, eggs, butter, almonds, and chocolate. I was going to say coffee again. I've got coffee on my mind. I know why. Our coffee machine broke down and I haven't had coffee for 2 days. So I want more coffee. Going out for shopping for a coffee machine is not essential shopping, is it? Is it? Someone say yes. No, it's not. I'll have to use granulated coffee for now. It's not the same thing. Oh, you can also add a bit of coffee to this as well. I've seen a few recipes that you can add a teaspoon of coffee, especially if I have kids. There's Galaxy. I don't know who that is. Definitely, especially if you have kids, you got to stock up on the coffee. So I'm going to put that in the oven, and the recipe will tell me how long. So 45 to 50 minutes on 170 degrees, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm just going to pop that in the oven. I'm going to set it because I always forget. If I don't set a timer, I forget. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Okay. So I'll set it to 40. Then I'll have a look. 45. Okay, so now to wash the bowl. There's a way that I wash the bowl. It's really quick and easy. The Thermomix has its own cleaning function, but I want to be really quick. So I am going to just put enough water to cover the blades. Give me a moment. And a dash of detergent, just a little drop. And put the bowl back in the Thermomix. Lid on, of course. It won't work without the lid. And tap on the speed and just go to speed 10 for a couple of seconds. Okay, now then we have these brushes that you can get from the mix shop. They come in different colors now. And my customers, you're still waiting for them. I have to drop them off once all this calms down a bit. But yeah, we normally give these to our customers, and then you just rinse it under the tap and it's done. So just give me a few seconds. Okay. All right, so that's the bowl. Just get the lid. Hi, Bobby. Hi. Going to give Mummy a kiss. Okay. All right. So we're ready for our next recipe, and we're going to start on the Gozleme. I think I'm saying it right. I never know how to say it. Probably have a million different ways of saying it. Gozleme. Okay. So, it's Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Okay, all right, no worries. No problem at all. Now I know who I'm talking to. I met you the other day on my last thing. Okay, so let me just give this a right. Okay, so we're gonna do the Gozleme, and this is where you're gonna see the cooking function and lots of chopping. So you can do this really quickly, and it makes so much. I had never thought of making my own Gozleme without a Thermomix, and that's just the beauty of when you do have a Thermomix. You just try. It's so easy to try different things because of just how easy and quick it is. So I'll just go back here to my week, and the recipe is simply called Gozleme. There's two on there. The other one has Gozleme something. So if you want to look it up, it's just Gozleme. It's on a blue plate. So if you want to follow that recipe. So the first thing we're going to do with this recipe is we're going to make our own dough. So just grab the ingredients. Okay. So we have flour, some yogurt, milk. All right. Now, okay, so we're going to add in 200 grams of milk. Now, yogurt is something that you can also make in the Thermomix, but we're not big yogurt eaters, so it's not something that I make. I'm going to throw in 1 egg. Yes, sweetie. Okay. Yeah, so we're not big yogurt eaters, so it's not something that I make in the Thermomix, but you definitely can because there's a fermentation mode. So 40 grams of olive oil. So again, the scales pop up automatically, and 150 grams of the yogurt. So I'll pop that in there. The scales are at 0. Okay, 135, 150, perfect. Okay, and 2 teaspoons of dried yeast that I've got here. And now it's going to heat this up for a few minutes. Oh, sorry, first it's going to mix it, 4 seconds on speed 4. And I go slowly up to 4 because if you go too fast for something like this, it flicks everything up to the top, yeast and so on. So I do it slowly. And then it's going to heat it up to 50 degrees for 3 minutes. So, and it tells me to go to speed 2. And then we're going to add the flour. And then we're going to wrap the dough in our mat. So this is our silicone mat that you can get for hosting. So this mat is normally worth $60 by itself. You can get this one and an oven mat. So one that specifically goes in the oven. Again, it replaces baking paper. You can get both of them for $25 instead of $90 just by hosting a demo. Just by hosting, you can get them for free. If one of your friends is, just by hosting, you get it for $25. If by any chance one of your friends buys a Thermomix from that demo, you get it for free. So $90 compared to for free, it's definitely worth hosting because you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn new recipes. And the host rewards are amazing. I'll show you the oven mat. Where is it? Okay. So this is the one I'm going to wrap the dough in. So this is great if you're a baker. So great to roll out short crust pastry, puff pastry, any kind of dough on there. So you can do things like scrolls and bagels and pretzels all on the mat. And then when they're ready to go in the oven, you can pop it on a large tray and use this mat. So this pack is $90. But yeah, just host and you get it for $25. Definitely worth it. So the Thermomix will tell me when it gets to 50 degrees because it's going to heat it now to 50 degrees. And it's there now. So you can't see it from there, but it does say that it's on 50 degrees. So I can stop it. I don't need to wait the whole 5 minutes because what we wanted it to do, it's already done. Okay, so now we're going to add the plain, it says plain flour. I've got baker's flour. I've got a lot of baker's flour. The next steps also say to add baking powder, which is weird, baking powder and yeast, but yes, baking powder, salt. I've already got that here in this bowl just to save time, but it's all here ready to go. Let me just wash my hands. So the next step was half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, and half a teaspoon of salt. Then we pop the lid on, and it's going to knead for 2 minutes. So we just turn the dial, and it kneads the dough. Okay, so once that's done, like I said, we're going to wrap it here. Now, there's a few ways of cooking your gozleme. You can do it on the fry pan. I'm going to do it in this thing. Sandwich press. So I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to turn it on, get it really hot. But yeah, I just use a sandwich press to cook the gozleme, and I just find it really easy. So I'm going to turn it on. Great. So when the Thermomix is kneading, this is the only time really that you should supervise the Thermomix because it sometimes, depending on the dough, it does like a little dance. And if you have it too close to the edge, then it can topple off the edge because it moves around a bit. If you are cooking something that's quite, yes, Susan, I was just about to mention what happened to you. If you put like really big chunks in there and it's still probably raw and it's trying to move things around, just keep an eye on it because it can, dance around a little bit as well. Okay. So we've only got 30 seconds to go. And then once the dough is done, we're going to wrap it in the mat and we're going to just let it rest for half an hour. but that's enough time for us to get our filling done. So I've chosen beef today for the filling. You can do chicken, you can do lamb, and I bought minced meat, but did you know that you can also mince your own meat in the Thermomix? So you can mince chicken, beef, lamb, whatever. You'll know exactly what's in it, and you use the turbo function to mince meat. So yeah, so if you want to know exactly what's in your mince, to me it was just like, I was so busy today with I'm studying at TAFE, and I've got my team and I've got my kids homeschooled. It was just easy just to grab that tray of minced meat. So there is our dough. Now, for those who have a Thermomix, what you do is you turn it upside down and you twist the bottom. How's dinner? Good? Okay, you twist the bottom and it should come right off like that. And we know that the dough is that perfect consistency because those blades are clean. Now, you just saw me go in and grab some dough. For those who don't know, these blades, they work more on sharpness than they do on speed. Sorry, the other way around. They work more on speed than they do on sharpness. So you can touch them and they're not going to cut you. They go on speed 10, they go at like 300 kilometers per hour. They go really fast. And that's why we're able to mill almonds in 10 seconds into almond meal, because they're that fast. So that's all we're going to do. We're just going to pop that aside, let it rest for half an hour. Now, our next step, now my blades are dry, so I'm actually not going to really worry about washing the bowl, but oh, look at that. There's a video. Can you guys see that? So again, it's just a video on this amazing screen to show you what you need to do. So, oh look, it's showing that tip that I showed you guys. So you put the bowl upside down and you twist the blades. How good is that? I love it. So at the moment, these videos don't have sound, but I reckon with a few more software updates, we're going to get sound on these videos. Okay. So actually, did it say to wash the bowl? Meanwhile, no, it didn't. How good is that? Because, yeah. All right, so let me get the rest. We have some things that we're going to chop up. So I've got some cheese, some herbs, and some spinach. So the first thing I'm going to add is 150 grams of cheese. So this one is tasty cheese. And we're going to mill that. Sorry, grate it. For cheese, it's grating. For 6 seconds on speed 9. That's done. So that took 3 seconds because I had the heating on. This cheese has gone really soft. It's really hot in here. Okay, there is our grated cheese. 3 seconds. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I still get blown away just how quick we can do these things in the Thermomix. All right, so there is our grated cheese. And I normally do like a 3 cheese mix. And I never buy grated cheese. Yeah, I don't either anymore. I was just going to say I normally do like a 3 cheese mix. I do tasty, cheddar, and mozzarella and parmesan, so 4 cheeses, and mix it all and then just have it in the freezer for when we have our pizzas or for scrolls. So there's no like anti-caking agents, antifungal agents, which is what you get in grated cheese. And it's cheaper, so much cheaper to do it yourself. Okay, so now we're going to add some mint. So my poor little mint vase isn't doing too great. So I probably don't have the full 5 sprigs, but we're still adding mint. Now, if you don't like mint, you can leave it out. So parsley, my parsley is growing strong actually, and 60 grams of baby spinach leaves. So the scales pop up every time I need to use those scales. And we're going to pop the lid on. Now it's going to chop it all up. 2 seconds on speed 6. Okay. Yes. 3-year-old wants ice cream. All right, there we go. So there's our chopped herbs. That smell, just that fresh, what do you call it? Mint and parsley smells so good. So we're going to transfer that into the bowl with the cheese. Okay. In there. And so there is our chopped herbs. 3 seconds. Do you remember this? Nuts. Okay. Olive oil. Where's my olive oil? Here. All right. 40 grams of olive oil. Now, it does seem like a lot, but this makes like 16 gozlemes. Gozlemes? 5 garlic cloves. I've got 3 because these are huge. So you just throw in your garlic cloves. We're going to throw in 1 brown onion cut into quarters. Okay. And a teaspoon of, how good does that look? Teaspoon of cumin, teaspoon of ground coriander, a teaspoon of paprika. We're going to throw it in. So there are our spices for the gozleme. And we're going to chop that for 3 seconds on speed 7. Okay, so chop that up with the olive oil. Some recipes, first you chop up the onion and the garlic, then it can be 5 seconds, speed 5, and then you add your olive oil. And then, so we're going to scrape down the sides. So chopped all that up. So it was on speed 7 because we want it fine. So because in gozleme, we don't have chunks. So it's a nice fine chop with all those herbs. Got some on the lid as well, so I'll just pop it into the bowl. Okay. And now it's going to saute the onion, the garlic, and those spices. It's going to saute for 3 minutes on speed 1. So whilst it's doing that, you can walk away. You don't need to supervise the Thermomix when it's doing this. But and then you can grab other ingredients. I'm going to grab the feta cheese from the fridge. So give me a moment. Where is the feta cheese? That cake smells really nice already. So there is my feta cheese. And I've got Greek feta. Did someone say something?
How child friendly is it? Like, just so that my daughter and so my 3-year-old can't get the lid off, can she? To get the blades.
Sorry, I can't hear you properly.
I'll message it.
Okay, hang on. Maybe my sound is too low. Do you want to say that again?
So how child friendly is it? Like when it's locked in place, my 3-year-old can't get to it, can she?
No, she can't. Look, as only if she or he puts his or her hand down the opening there of the bowl, which I don't normally tend to do because it's quite safe for kids to use because as soon as the blades start moving, the bowl locks in place.
Okay.
So like I said, unless they purposely put their hand through the hole in the lid, which I've never heard of that happening, but some kids, you just don't know. But when they're old enough to understand what they should and shouldn't do, it's perfectly safe. Perfectly safe. My kids started using the Thermomix from when they were really little. Liam, who's 3.5, he finds it intriguing, wants to get involved. So I'm just breaking up the feta with my hands.
I did see on Cookie Do as well, there is a kids version of Cookie Do. Like there's a kids section so they can actually help.
Yeah, there is. There's a kids collections. We've run kids cooking classes as well for our kids in our team, the Blade Runners, and we invite our customers' kids along. There's really simple recipes for the kids to get started on Cookie Do. So that's a lot of fun. Things like chocolate smoothies and easy muffin mix, things like that. Yeah, and look, as kids just find it really easy to use because it's all guided, and it's all there on the screen for them. So if they know how to read, my daughter who's 9, she just, Mum, I'm just going to make this, and she grabs all the ingredients and does it herself. So kids really get involved in the kitchen with a Thermomix, which is great, and they'll learn a lot about food. Just going to wash my hands. And not just little kids, but older kids and husbands. So who wants to share? You know, has their husband started taking more of an interest in the kitchen once you have a Thermomix? I know mine did. Mine didn't know how to boil rice before having a Thermomix. And now, you know, sometimes I get home and he's whipped up these amazing desserts and all by himself. So there's our saute onion, garlic, and our spices. And now he's saying to add the beef mince, so 500 grams. Just going to throw that in. And it's going to now brown the meat with the onion, garlic, and the spices. Again, just let me wash my hands. Okay. And a tablespoon of plain flour and some salt and some pepper. All right, I've done all that. And some lemon juice as well. Lemon juice is great because it cuts the, what do you call it? You know, the fat from the meat, even though this one is lean. But we want 20 grams of lemon juice. Just gives it a nice flavor. Just get those seeds out. So roughly 20 grams. I'm probably not going to get 20 grams out of this one. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'll stick to 10. That's too hard. All right, and now it's going to cook it 4 minutes on 100 degrees on speed 1. Okay, so once that's cooked, we're going to mix in our cheese and our herbs and the feta cheese, and our dough is ready. So whilst that is cooking away, and I've got a tray here to put it in because it does make a lot, and you want it to be a large tray so you can spread it out so it cools down quickly, because you can't be putting a hot filling on the dough. Now I'm going to save these for the lemonade, all right, that we're going to do later on. Okay, so here is our dough. There you go. Now we want 16 portions. So we get 6. It's nice and warm. So we get 16 portions. I go, so a really easy way is go half and then half again. Now they don't all have to be the exact same size. And then I do these into 3, 6, 9. And you can make them as big or as little as you want. Now, these also freeze really well. So after you've assembled them, what I normally do, I'll have baking paper, and then I put a couple on some sheets of baking paper, and then put another layer of baking paper, and then put more Gozleme, baking paper, Gozleme. So you got to do it that way so they don't stick together whilst they're freezing in the freezer. Okay, so you pop these aside, and what you want to do is, I'll show you. You want them covered, because if you don't cover them, they will dry out. So now another great thing about this this Thermomat are the circles. So you can sort of guide yourself so they all turn out the same size if you want. So I normally just use my fingers for the Gozleme. Okay, and you do want it thin, not too thin. Like this would be 5 millimeters, not even, probably a little bit thinner. But yeah, that's ready for my filling. I'm just going to grab a sip of water. Geez, it got hot in my dining room because I closed the door off to the lounge room, closed the door off to the corridor, and had the heating on maximum. Oh, And now I've got the oven on behind me. Oof, sauna. All right, so there's 1 minute to go. So that's giving that a nice mix, and it's browning and cooking it at the same time. Now I've got my sandwich press that's nice and hot. So I'm only going to show you a couple because I want to move on to the pork Churros, which is another family favorite. And it's just so easy to make, and the flavors are just absolutely amazing. Okay, so that's done. So a safety feature, Andrea, as well, this would be good. So when you're using the heating function, when you stop it, it cools it down, cools what's in there down for like 10 seconds. So when you open the lid, nothing is splattering. So you won't get splattered with like olive oil or because it cools it down. All right, so that's given that mince a good stir through.
Thank you for that, because I have a very inquisitive 3-year-old.
Yeah, lots of safety features with the machine that they'll be absolutely fine.
Her
All
and
right.
my nephew are like the terrible two.
Yeah, I know what that's like. All right, so another 5 minutes. And
They're brother and sister from two different, sides of the family.
oh, really? Oh my goodness.
They're
Well,
only 5 months apart, but God, are they alike? There he is.
Yeah.
My baby, hi. Sorry, it's the only time I can see my nephew during lockdown.
Oh, really? Oh, they're on the call as well. Oh, that's lovely.
Hi,
That's
Auntie.
awesome.
Hi,
Oh, super cute. Let me just check the cake. Oh, so there's 20 minutes to go on that cake. So we'll just wait for that. I'm just thinking. All right. So whilst that's happening, I'm going to turn on this machine, and we can get started on the lemonade. Lemonade is so quick. So I've got, because both of these machines are connected to the same cookie dough account, so I can get the recipe on there, go to the step that this is on, and then continue it cooking there. So when you go to recipe detail, for those that don't know, because I only found this out like years after having a Thermomix, you can do this in the TM5 as well. You go to the recipe detail, and then when you tap on the step that you want, the Thermomix takes you to that step. So you don't have to click next to go to the step that you want. So I love that feature, love it. So I'm going to do that here. So my week, yeah, bub. Hey. Oh, I got to ask Daddy now. Yeah, got to ask Daddy. Okay, so I'll go to here. All right, so it's got another, it's added 20 seconds. Okay, so we've got another 3 minutes to go. I'll pop it over there and I'll make the lemonade. Lemonade is so quick. Okay, another 1 second. Okay, fabulous. So 2 minutes 40 over here. So beauty about being a consultant is that you can get all these Thermomixes for free. We earn them as consultants. So I'm just going to bookmark the recipe. So because I tapped on the home button, it bookmarks it. So when I want to bring that bowl back here, it'll take me straight there. Because this recipe, I'm going to show you how to make it manually. So to show you how easy it is to follow a recipe that you find online and you need to program your Thermomix, it is really, really easy. Now, this recipe is on Cookie Dough. It's just called mint lemonade. And I'm just going to add some, let me just pull the dough aside. Oh, it sticks to the bench, which is great. It doesn't move anywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to add, and you can swipe that way and get to the scales. I think it's 120 grams of sugar. Yep, you can use raw sugar, white sugar. I actually bought white sugar today because in the lemonade, if the sugar isn't white, then you get like a yellowish, like a darker color lemonade. So I thought I'd try white sugar today. And I'm going to throw in mint, okay? So we're going to mill the mint with the sugar. So again, those blades should be dry for this to work best. And it's just, again, so just 10 seconds on speed 10. Okay. And now we're going to add, oh, I'll show you. This is amazing. I absolutely love this. Look at that. So it's green now. And the smell is just amazing of that mint, which is completely gone with that icing sugar. So now you, oops, come back. All right, that one's gone. Lemon. So you don't de-seed it. You just pop it in, seeds and all, and you just cut it in quarters like that. And the recipe says, I think it says 2 lemons. I always put 3. We like it really lemony. Okay. I almost got my finger there. I think I missed it for like a millimeter. Okay.
Your kids
And
are gonna
now,
love you tonight, Sandra.
oh, I know. They love lemonade. I do like 2 batches of this a day.
All this
Crazy.
food and drinks, they're gonna love you.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so now enough water to cover the blades. All right, let me just finish here. Okay, so that's actually done. And I'm going to pour this into that big tray that I have. So, let me just do that because it needs to cool down before I can go any further. Okay, all right. Okay, that's done. I'll put it over there. Let me just spread it out so it cools down. Okay, so enough water to cover the blades. We pop the lid on. And now we go to our turbo function. So I'll just swipe to the left, turbo, and I want 2 seconds, turbo. Okay, and then I'll have a look. And then I'll just do half a second on turbo, and that's it. And that's done. Do you know our lemonade is actually done? Okay, so I have to get out of that turbo function for the lid to open. And there is our chopped up lemon with the mint. I'm going to top it up with water until the max line. Okay. And now I need to strain it. So we're going to use our simmering basket. Now this is great to cook rice in. I've got the best boiled rice recipe, which is on Recipe Community. It's by one of my consultants, Kirsty. If you guys want to let me know, because it turns out perfect every time. So now we're going to strain it into our jug. And the beauty of making this yourself is that you can control the amount of sugar. You don't even need to put sugar. So that's nice and greenish from the mint, and you get that beautiful mint flavor. My kids love mint. They're forever asking me to make mint ice cream. Okay. There we go. And there is our lemonade, showing you our manual function so you can create your own dishes eventually after you get experience with the Thermomix, but you can also grab any recipe, Thermomix recipe online that isn't on Cookie Doo, and you can program it yourself. Oh, really? Oh, there you go, Susan. Yeah, definitely with the simmering basket. Super easy and nothing gets through. It's amazing. So the basket has the, you know, those holes, but not a grain of rice comes out of those holes and no pulp into our juice. And I'll show you what it looks like. That's what's left behind. Now, I don't really know what to do with this. I always bin it But if anyone has a great idea of what you can do with this, that would be great. I'd love to know. Okay, so our Gozleme is ready. So for our next step, what we're going to do is we are going to get our mix, and I'll just come back here. So, okay, great, easy. Okay, so we're going to add feta cheese to here, and we're going to add our cheese mix with our herbs, and we're going to mix it all together. So remember I said it makes a lot? It makes a lot. Okay. So mix that. My sandwich press is nice and hot. Okay. Now, that bowl behind me, because we did a lot in that bowl, it's quite dirty. So there's caramelization on the bottom of the bowl that I'll show you shortly. So I'm going to set that Thermomix to clean by itself whilst I continue on with you. So show you what you do. Let me just go here, cancel recipe. Everything's flying off my hands today. There is our bowl, quite dirty. So I am going to add just some water to cover the blades. I do add a drop of detergent, and I'm going to set it to clean by itself. So you just put in cold water, because when what the Thermomix does, it heats the water for you, and it just gives the bowl a really good whiz, and it gives it a good clean. So when I finish with my Thermomix, this is what I do to give it a good clean. So pop the lid on, and I go to pre-clean, and I'm going to select browning. So you can select which one you want to use depending on what you've done in the bowl. Okay, so back to our Gozleme. So I've rolled out the dough. That's ready. Oh, that chocolate cake smells so nice. And we're going to put a teaspoon and a half, which is what I normally do, on the dough, like that, halfway only. And then I turn it over, and I press it down with my fingers. And that is all that you need to do. Now I've got the sandwich press here, which is nice and hot. I'm going to pop it on that sandwich press, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end. So just a couple of minutes there, because all of this here is cooked. So really it's just to cook that dough, and you're done. So done times 16. There's a lot here. So, but I'm not going to do 16 with you tonight, because we'll be here forever. The time. Okay. All right. Last thing we're going to do, pork gyros. And I love this recipe because it's so easy and delicious, and you make your own gyros spice, which is what I love about it too. So let me just make some room. So I usually have the spices ready to go. So I've got these spice containers and the gyros spice mix. I'll make a big batch. Actually, the recipe makes a lot. And then I just have it ready to go. And I've got the meat here marinating. Now I've used pork tenderloin that I've diced. I love pork tenderloin for this because it's just so nice and soft, like it doesn't go chewy. So the recipe is called, just grab it, quick gyros with tzatziki. I'm actually not making the tzatziki because we're not eating this tonight. If I make tzatziki tonight, it's not that pumpkin is going to be way too soft. Not pumpkin. What am I saying? Cucumber. Tzatziki with pumpkin is the cucumber is going to be way too soft, so I'll make it tomorrow. But it is part of the recipe to make the tzatziki, and also to make the gyros spice mix is also part of the recipe. So like I was explaining before, I don't want to do all of that. I am going to move forward and tap on the step that I want. And let me just have a look at the Gozleme, looking great. Now I'm going to wash this bowl. I'm going to tip this into the bin and I'll be back shortly. All right, I'm going to give the bowl a rinse. Okay, so that was just a rinse because it was just lemons, basically. Okay, the bowl of wipe. So obviously, if this wasn't a demo and you're at home making all these dishes, you wouldn't have all these plates that I use to prep the meals. You would just be grabbing those ingredients, popping them straight into the into the bowl, then putting the ingredients away again, either in your pantry or your fridge, and then you realize that there's barely any washing up. So I've got a chopping board, I've got a couple of spoons, I have some spatulas because I'm a spatula freak. I use so many of them. But that's about it. So, and we've done the cake, we've done the dough, we've done the Gozleme, we've done the lemonade. And yeah, very minimal washing up, which is great, especially when you're so busy. I don't think I ever had anyone at my demos when I ask, do you like washing up? And I don't think I've ever had anyone put their hand up to say they love washing up. No one. Okay, so we this step is saying to add in 400 grams of pork fillets. As I mentioned before, I use pork tenderloin. I get them from Aldi. They're really nice. And added the pork Duros mix through it. 40. Now it says 40 grams of olive oil. Vegetable oil, but I use olive oil for everything. So don't be afraid that when a recipe says to add something, if you're used to something else, just do it. Because the recipes are always a guide, and everyone's palate is different. So just like if you were cooking not with Thermomix, but with something else, how we taste as we go along, please do the same thing with the Thermomix, because you may need more salt, you may need a bit of this, a bit of that, just so then it turns out how you're used to it being, and then you're more happy with the outcome, right? Yeah. So we're going to add in 60 grams of brown onion that is just sliced into thin slices. 20 grams of, so again, it says vegetable oil, but I don't use vegetable oil unless it's for popcorn. And so I'm just going to use olive oil, okay? And now it's going to saute that for 2 minutes, 120 degrees, and it's put the blaze in reverse. And let me get the Gozleme. Keep getting it wrong. Okay. And I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so I think it was you, Elia. Elia, you gave me the idea to use the sandwich press for this. I thought it was brilliant because I always used to do it on the fry pan. Okay, there we are. There's our Gozleme. Now, this is a delicious dish, and it makes so much. And it's foolproof. There is your Gozleme, and I'm going to be making 15 more of those when we get off this call. And I'm going to pop them in the freezer because I'm only going to cook them tomorrow. And I don't think I can keep them like that in the fridge, so I'll just freeze them. And then I usually just pop them frozen on the sandwich press, and then they turn out perfect. Okay. I'll just turn that sandwich press off. Okay, now whilst that's cooking, I'm going to take the opportunity just to have a look, see if there's any questions. You freeze half the dough. That is a great tip, Susan, because it does make a lot, hey? 16 Gozlemes is a lot. Yeah, I do upload our classes on YouTube, and I will email you all of that. And yeah, so no worries, guys. I'll definitely be sending you guys all that information. Thanks for all your help on chat, Elia. It's been great. Okay. All right, so that bowl is there washing by itself. So whilst that's happening, I'm going to show you cookie dough. So for those who haven't seen cookie dough before, or who needs some tips on cookie dough. Okay. Thermomix is so quick. It gets to the next step. All right, so now we're going to add 200 grams of the pork. Oh, let me just show you. So I sauteed the onion with the olive oil. If you wanted to, you could add garlic to it, but from memory, the Duros spice mix has garlic powder, so you probably may not want to, but if you love garlic, it'd be a good addition. All right, 200 grams, which is half. And now what we're going to see is the new function of the TM6, which I love, which is a sizzling function or the high heat function. So we have to use this splash guard. And now this is where you're going to really hear it fry exactly like a fry pan. So all we do when we see the 3 squiggles there, okay, oops, go back, done. You just turn it and it starts to now fry that meat. Now my oven is beeping at me because it seems like the cake is ready. So I'm just going to check. Okay. All right. That is done. Okay, there is my cake. Okay, so I'm just going to let it cool a little before I do anything with it. Now, I learned a tip from one of my consultants as well. So again, just the beauty of being in this business is that you work with so many different ladies and gents. We do have male consultants, and we just learn so much from each other. And Sue is our cake maker in our team, and she's said, look, when you want your cake to be, I don't really like this term, moist. I don't know another term. Just wrap it in a tea towel, let it cool down, wrapped in a tea towel, and that cake won't be dry. It'll just be really nice and moist inside. So I'm going to do that for a little bit whilst we continue, and then I'll sprinkle it with that icing sugar that we made in the very beginning, and I'll slice it so you can see what it looks like. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. Can you hear the sizzle?
I'm too scared to make cakes.
You won't be with the Thermomix. It's
No. I have a very, very critiquing sister-in-law who does cakes as a hobby. And if I do it wrong,
yes.
Ash loves making her cake, so I just go to her when I need anything.
You'll find that you'll be able to make your own. It's too easy now.
I wanted to do my daughter's first birthday cake, but I was like, no, Ash, do it.
Ash can do it. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I'm going to open up Cookie Dough, which is our recipe platform, and I'm going to screen share with you guys. Okay, so I think you guys can see that. So Cookie Dough is amazing. So if you've got a TM5 and you don't have that cookie, you're missing out, and I'll explain why. So now when you buy a Thermomix, when you buy the TM6, it comes with 6 months free subscription to the Cookie Dough, and you can sign up for a 30-day free trial initially. So you end up getting 7 months for free. After that, it's only $49 a year. That's only $1 a week, and I'll show you how many recipes you get. And they're always adding new recipes to this. So I think the last time I looked, there was like 7,000 recipes. Now English recipes, there is 8,861. So you'll never run out of ideas of what to make, and all these recipes are guided cooking. So they are all at your fingertips on your Thermomix screen, whether it's the TM5 or the TM6. They're all at your fingertips. Now, obviously, we can't go through 8,861 recipes because there's way too many of them. But then that's when you can go into filters and you can choose, okay, so I'm looking for a pasta and rice dish, for instance. There are loads more categories. Actually, no, let's look at something different, like desserts and sweets, for example. Now I can scroll down, and I can also do like, there's also tags. So if you're looking for something that's vegetarian or vegan or paleo, you can put all that in the tags, and it grabs those recipes. You can also choose the difficulty, the preparation time, the total time, and also the rating. So all our recipes are rated, which I love. So I tend to go to the 4 and the 5-star. So it's given me 1,000 results, which is still a lot. I can then, I don't know, I want easy. So it's given me 749 results. And then, you know, you scroll through, and this apple crumble cake is, I mean, look, 4.9 star rating. I have made it before. It is so easy. So from here, I can click on it. I can have a look at the recipe. You can do all of this from your phone as well. So you can download the Cookie Do app. And if I choose to click on Cook Today, as soon as I click Cook Today, I go to my TM6 and the recipe is there in my weekly planner, ready for me to click on Start Cooking and follow the recipe step by step. But I can also bookmark it. So I usually bookmark recipes. If it's a recipe that I find I haven't used it before, I haven't cooked it before, I'm unsure, I bookmark it and then I look back at it later. I can also add it to a collection. So you can create your own collections of your favorite recipes. So I will add that one to cakes, for instance. So tap on there and now it's saved for easy reference. Next time I want to think of baking a cake, I just go to my collections and look at what I've come across before and what I've cooked and what I know that we like. I can also add it to shopping list, and I'll show you the shopping list shortly. And I can add it to my week. So say, you know, I actually do have a lot of apples, so I can put it into the planner for tomorrow and I save. Now, when I go into my week, this is where I see my planner. So you can see what I've cooked today, the ideas that I had for today. It was so hard to pick some dishes for tonight. I thought about the 3 cheese pies, the flatbreads, and the Santiago cake, which is another almond cake. So let me just show you, because the Thermomix has done this step here where it's fried the pork gyros. So there we go. Now I'm going to pop that into a thermo server, which is something else that you can get as host rewards. And this is going to keep your food hot for hours. It is so good. So especially in winter, things that go cold really easy. What did I put on the table yesterday? I thought, no, I don't need a thermo server. I'm going to eat this really quick. And it was cold within minutes. I think it was tortellini with a white sauce. Yep, it was cold within minutes. If I had used the thermo server, I would have kept it hot. So we pop the lid on, and that's going to keep it hot. So so when you get to the table to eat, your food isn't cold. Okay, so I've just removed the meat, but I've left the oil in there. And now we're going to add the rest of the pork. Now I'm following this step by step. I have done the step where I added the whole 400 grams in one go, and it was fine. So you'll also do little hacks, little changes to recipes after you've used it the first time. You'll know, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do it this way this time, and it works out fine. All right. So pop the splash guard on again, and it's just going to do that for another 6 minutes. And I'll go back to sharing Cookie Do. Okay, so yeah, I had some things here that I was umming and ahhing, and I made poached eggs this morning with Holland. I didn't do the hollandaise sauce. I did the poached eggs part. Did that this morning. And then what I did is I added these to my shopping list. And you simply add by coming here and do add to shopping list like that. Once that's done, I go to show ingredients, and because I really personalize it, there's not a lot here, but I'll show you something different. So let me just clear it all, clear my shopping list, and I will add a few. So add to shopping list. Okay. When there's a lot in one day, like this one, you can just click on here to add them all 3 in one go. Okay. I don't understand why it's not coming up there, maybe because the day's over almost. So show ingredients. And then you can personalize it. So I've got the baking powder, I've got the sugar, I've got the yeast, and so on and so on. And you can also add other things at the end. So if you, for instance, need toilet paper, you can find some. Actually, there was plenty in the shops today. Toilet paper. And then once you've done personalizing your shopping list, you can be at the shops and you go and you put the blanched almonds into your trolley and you can tick it off, because you'll be able to see this on your phone, for instance. So I'm doing this on my laptop, but if I was to grab my phone right now, the exact same thing would be on my phone, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So, you know, I'll put the sugar in my my trolley, tick it off. And what I also love about this is that it separates the ingredients into categories. So this is your baking ingredients. You've got cereals and dried legumes, dairy products. So when you're at the shops, you're in the dairy section, you know, okay, I've got to get this and this and this. So you're not running around from one end of the shop to, you know, the grocery shop to the other end because you forget this or that, you know, because that usually happens when you do your handwritten shopping lists. Now, this takes it a step further, which I love, was you go here and you click on order ingredients. Now, if you've got an account with Woolworths at the moment, you could send all these ingredients directly to your Woolworths shopping cart. And then you can swap ingredients over. You can swap, you know, what brand you want. Do that. And then you click on click and collect, pay for your order or delivery. And it does it all for you. So you can. So this is massive for time saving for you busy mums out there who work full time. If you do your meal planning for the week, do your shopping list, you know exactly what you're going to cook when you get home, and you just chuck it all in the Thermomix. And you can, I was going to say sit down and have a glass of wine, but we know how hard that is. You can help the kids with their homework. You can help them get ready, you know, bathe them, whatever. And the Thermomix is cooking for you because you're organized, and it just saves you running to the shop. I mean, how many of you do this? I want to make this, but I don't have that. And you've got to run to the shops to grab it. This just, you know, stops all that. So no wasting necessary petrol. Your time, which is valuable, is something that you can't get back. This just makes it really easy. What else can I show you on Cookadoo? Okay, and I love this as well. So it tells you what latest recipes have been added. So we've actually just added a Japanese collection, and I've heard this cotton soft Japanese cheesecake is amazing. So it tells you what the latest recipes are, and when you click on see more, then you become inspired. Oh my gosh, this ramen noodle soup looks so good. I am going to bookmark that. And your bookmark list just grows and grows and grows. The milk bread, Tangzong milk bread is, I made this for our bread class. Talking about bread class, I'm running a bread class on Sunday, 4 p.m. If you guys want to come along, watch out for the link. I will send it to you guys. So if you want to learn some awesome hints and tips about bread, join me on it's really popular. So it handpicks recipes for you, but also it handpicks recipes. Oh, it tells you most cooked. So it gathers data from Thermomixes in Australia and tells you what is it that people are cooking more. And looks like the feed a crowd cake is very popular at the moment. I guess because everybody's got their kids home in Sydney and they don't stop eating. So the feed a crowd cake is great because it makes a big cake. So again, this gives you recipe ideas. It's, oh, you know what? I'm going to try that. The plaki, I think that's like a Polish hash brown from memory. So yeah, again, you just become more creative. And because I've set my cookie dough I've let it know that I'm very time poor, it selects recipes for me that are quick and easy. So because your time is precious, here are some ideas for you. And if I click on see more, it gives me more ideas. So Cookadoo is great if you want to use your Thermomix more. I have heard from my customers who weren't using Cookadoo and they invested in the Cook Key with their TM5. They've all said they use their Thermomix so much more because of the access to all these recipes. So highly recommend it. So that's done.
Sandra,
So-
even my partner's involved. Like my partner's been going through looking at recipes that he wants me to make, and he'll make himself.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, look, how many I hear that a lot, you know, where husbands who never used to cook, they get really involved. It's fantastic.
He's very much a mummy's boy and would never ever doesn't know how to use a utensil. So for him to want to get involved in cooking is a massive thing.
That's massive. It is massive. And it just takes the load off for busy mums, doesn't it? If we can get home and our husband has started dinner because it's easy, how good is that?
Well, even Ash just told me, like, my brother's the master of pancakes now because he'll just get on and do it. And the other day,
Yeah, that's right.
he said, I don't know how to do it. And Ash said, the recipe's right there for you. Just get on and do it.
Just follow the steps. Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to be making some flatbreads, recipes on cookie dough, and I'm going to make my tzatziki, and we're going to have that on fresh flatbreads with fresh tzatziki, and it's amazing. So I wanted to cook this dish to show you the frying function, because it does fry like a fry pan, but what also happens is you get caramelization on the bottom of the bowl. Now, by doing that cleaning function that comes integrated in like as a mode in the Thermomix, it just lifts that right off, and very easy to clean. And you guys out there, it is a stainless steel bowl. You can scrub it. Don't be afraid to scrub it with a scourer, or even like a metal scourer with some gumption, with some whatever. It doesn't matter. It's stainless steel. You're not going to ruin it. So if you need to really give it a good scrub, do it. Don't be afraid. It's not going to hurt your Thermomix. It's not going to, you know, damage that bowl. So because I hear a lot of, oh, you know, you've got to wash it with eggshells and stuff like that. You don't need to. It's stainless steel. Don't be afraid. You're not gonna damage it. So I'll just go through a few more things just to give you the information that you need to have. So cooking experiences or demos. There's another word for demos. Go to you're going to learn so much from each one. And it's like you've spent, you know, $2,200 on a Thermomix. So you want to get the most out of it. And the way to do that is go to cooking classes, have demos, speak to your consultant. Sometimes I hear, I'm not using my Thermomix. Get in touch with a consultant. If you don't have a consultant, ask for one. If you don't have one, get in touch with me. I can put you in touch with one of my consultants. And we're here to help you. This is what we do. We're very high up on our customer service, and this is what we want to offer you guys. So yeah, and at the moment we can't deliver and unpack Thermomixes to you because of lockdown, but that's another service that we provide as well to get you started on your Thermomix journey. So what have you guys liked most? So let's have a look. Let me just go into the chat. So for those who are new to Thermomix or who don't have one, what have you liked most? I've never had to scrub though. It's so easy to clean. I agree, Ashley. You're right. When you use the cleaning function, the pre-clean function, you just give it a quick scrub and it just all comes off. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on in the chat. I'll probably have to read it later. But what have you guys liked most about tonight? Is there anything new that you learned? So keep a lookout. I'm going to be running another one of these next Friday night. I'll send you the link to that. If you've got any friends that want to come along, they're welcome to come along. I'll send you the link to my bread class on Sunday as well. I remember when I first got a Thermomix, my bread making skills were crap, but I've learned so much along the years, and I will share all of them with you, so you get the best bread as well. Okay, and yeah, so don't forget, guys, we do have the half price business kit at the moment. So if you want to get involved, be part of this awesome community of fantastic Thermomix consultants, let me know, and we can get you started on your Thermomix journey. You can earn your second machine. You can get a second machine for free. and all the other goodies that we get. And we have the half price business kit, which is great. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Elliot. I love doing these classes. I have so much fun and I love spending time with you all on here. Awesome. All right, well, we're finished. So I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight, and stay safe and get in touch if you need anything. You've all got my details, and I'm happy to help where I can. And have a wonderful weekend and happy cooking. And please get in touch if you do have any questions. Very welcome, guys. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Irene. I hope you picked up a lot. I know you just got your Thermomix as well. Very exciting. So good. Oh, Tina, thanks for being on. Hope you're enjoying your TM5 as well. Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, I'll send out an email as well with the link to this. So I'll pop it on YouTube, and you guys can watch back if you like. Oh, awesome. I'm going to have some lemonade. After all this talking, I need some nice fresh lemonade. Second machine. So as consultants, we can earn a second machine. Well, would I call it earn? We get incentives as consultants, and when you're a consultant, you can get a second machine for free by achieving a certain number of sales a few months into your consultancy journey. So we're actually all at the moment, we can earn a second machine for free just by getting, I think it was like 25 sales in 3 months. Yeah, and you get a free machine. And there's lots of other freebies that we can get as well. Yeah, no worries. If you do want more info, get in touch and I can or in touch with your consultant. We can give you that info. I've got 3. I haven't paid for 1 yet. It's pretty cool having 2. Fantastic, ladies. Well, thank you again for joining. I am going to sign out and chat to you soon. Bye.